Edward Laos. Welcome to Travel Talk, filmed at the Peachtree Rose Marketing Studios and hosted by the hotel guide publisher, Edward Laos.
Good morning, everybody. Edward Laos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. Well, normally you have our podcast and I got a guest with me, but today I'm doing things a little bit different for our latest edition. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about leadership, how culture drives service in the hospitality industry, give you 10 tips, 10 ways to kind of get your culture going in the right direction. And that way it helps the service side of things and kind of gets you really getting your company, your hotel, your resort, your spa, anything in the culture side of things taken care of as well. Great teams are developed with great leaders, and that comes with culture. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a certified John Maxwell Leadership Coach, speaker, and trainer, and have over 32 years of entrepreneurial experience. So I've actually helped teams scale from 100 to 683%, I should say businesses scale. So kind of know a little bit about what we're doing here at the Hotel Guide, as well as from the coaching side of things. So I thought, you know what, let's kind of give some wisdom, 10 steps, 10 ideas on how culture drives service. So you know what, why don't we dig in and get right to the list. Number one, service culture connection. You know what? Everything really begins behind the scenes. It's so important that as your culture is being built, things begin behind the scenes. A lot of times I tell people on the front end, like, man, you put on the great show on the front end, doesn't matter what the chaos is behind. But in this case, you want to make sure that you're going forward, you're doing the right things, you're taking the right examples and helping your teammates get to that next level. Great culture begins on service, culture connection. So that's putting them two together and really about putting the guests first. You know, you're talking about servant leadership in all aspects of your life. But when you're talking about the hospitality industry, it goes even more important. It's actually apparent that you've got to really be focused on the guest experience. So service culture connection is number one. Number two, mission that moves people. You know, I think it's important when you have a company that you're really focused and you have a defined and clearly defined mission, something that people can latch onto, something they can believe in, something that drives them, and where they understand when they come into the office, when they come into the property, that they're really focused on one place that they're going to go. And what is that mission to you? And how does that involve the team? And how impactful is a team by it? That's one of the things you really need to focus on. But clearly defined mission is one thing that really makes people move and kind of go in the right direction. So number three, values and actions. Man, again, this goes along with the mission side of things. Core values are important and really should guide your decisions. It's one of those things where, you know, you see something on the floor or trash on the floor and not leaving it up to somebody else to pick it up, but you pick it up. It's doing the little things when people aren't watching. It's those core values that really help shape you, shape your company, and it has that compound effect. You got those little things, those good things that happen on a daily basis can add up to even greater things, as well as the antithesis of that. If you're not doing those little things, it can go the other way. And that's not what you want when you're talking about culture, values, and missions in regards to your business, particularly a hotel, a resort, or a spa destination as well. So those are three right there. Number four, you really want to hire for culture. Man, I really think you can teach people the industry, but you can't teach good attitude, humility, how to be a great team player, fantastic communication skills. I always use my gut feeling on a lot of things. I've had some great people who have been on my staff before. I'm actually a big believer in internship programs because they get to see how you work, but you also get to see how they work. It's almost like, hey, let's test the waters. And when we first launched the Hotel Guide years ago, we had 10 employees. I think 8 of them were actually interns at one time, and we ended up hiring them all. So it's really a cool thing to kind of see how hiring for culture matters, because it's really about the personality. It's about the drive. It's about the determination. How do they fit into your mission and your value system? Are they servant leaders? That's one of the big keys that I think is making companies so successful is what are they going to do to enhance the experience of being on your property or being in your destination. That's one of the big things right there. Number 5, we're almost halfway through, fellas. Onboarding with purpose. This is important because as you begin, that's the key to how you grow and how you go. People don't understand that if you don't have an immersive introduction to your company and to your mission, to your values, and everything that you're trying to accomplish, you're going to start on the bad side or on the wrong side from the very beginning. So having a very well thought out onboarding process is hugely important to the success of your business, particularly in the hospitality industry. If you don't have that in place, you're going to start seeing holes in your armor, and there's going to be letting water onto the boat, actually water into the boat. And at some point you're going to sink, or that person's going to sink. They're going to want to move somewhere else thinking, hey, I'm not getting the support I'm needing. I'm not getting the answers I need. I don't feel helped or valued here. And I'm just going to start looking elsewhere. That's why you see a lot of people jumping ship thinking, hey, I'm going to go to this brand or this brand and go and put, basically, hang up another flag. But the culture is what really matters. And having that strong onboarding with purpose is hugely important. So we're halfway through the list. Let's do a quick review. Number 1, the service culture connection, hugely important. Number 2, mission that moves people. Don't forget that. And number 3, values in action. Those are really, really important because it gives you those core values should guide your decisions. Number 4, hiring for culture. That's really important, hiring for culture. And number 5, onboarding with purpose. Once you've hired them, what does that onboarding process look like to help you move forward? So let's turn the corner. Let's go on to number 6, communication equals cohesion. Wow. I'm a big believer in communication and the importance of it. So transparency, feedback, all of this is important. You see how all of these things build upon each other, from behind the scenes to the values, to the mission, to how you hire for culture, but also your onboarding process. But that comes with good communication. As you're bringing those people on board, having them have that open line of communication is going to help with better cohesion. Great communicators always are better leaders. And that's what you want when you're creating the team that you want, that you want to kind of go out there and help people, help your customers, and allow them to really stand out and help the people that you're dealing with at your property. So communication equals cohesion. Number 7, celebrate the right things. I think it's important. A lot of people focus on the goal, the end game. But what about along the way? I'm a very big believer in celebrating all the small victories. So when you have an employee, when you have a team member that does something good, celebrate those victories. People want to be valued. When people are valued, they go above and beyond, not only for you as a team member, but they go above and beyond for the customers. And so when you have the customers or the guests who are staying at your property or at your destination, when you have a team that goes above and beyond, it really gives them the ability to go, wow, I found the right place. This is some place that I want to go back to my home and tell other people about, or actually jump on social media and just blast it to the world. Because if you can create brand ambassadors on your property from everything, that's one of the big things that you want, because now you got people who were your guests experiencing your level of service and commitment and taking it to the world. And that's exactly what you want. So celebrate the right things. Number 8, cross-training builds empathy. Never really thought about this, but this is so important. When you're talking about servers, the wait staff, you're talking about the front desk, you're talking about the back office. When you start cross-training and people get to see what other people are doing in their daily jobs, there is a level of empathy that goes with that. Now, the salespeople don't look at the front desk people differently or understand that they have different interactions from both sides, with the guests on one end to selling the property on the other end. So when you build that level of empathy, all of a sudden everybody's looking at, wow, I really didn't know it was that challenging to deal with guests on a daily basis. Or, wow, I didn't know our housekeeping had to really be involved at this level with the guests, and how difficult that can be at times. It gets you thinking at a different level. So empathy kind of rises to the top as well. So cross-training really builds empathy. So number 9, leadership sets the tone. This is probably my favorite. As the leader goes, the ship flows. It's really, really important. When you got great leaders, all of a sudden you're lifting up your team, you're helping them get to the next level. You got great communication, you got empathy going. All of a sudden your team is going, wow, how can we go out there, help our guests, and create an experience that's going to separate us from everyone else out there. When people choose your property or people choose your destination, there's a reason. But now you want to give them another reason to not only come back, but another reason to share this in their network, to let the world know, to become the best brand ambassadors for you, because you got a great team and your culture is next level. That's what you want to help the bottom line, but also to help take your business to another level. So what is number 10? Continually cultural check-ins. So a lot of people get to a certain level and they're like, okay, we're good. I train them. I got them out there. They're doing their job, but they don't do the check-ins. It's like a tune-up for your car. You've got to keep doing those, whether they're daily huddles, where they're weekly meetings, or whether it's the opportunity for them to communicate with you directly as the leader or the boss. But you got to have those regular check-ins. It keeps you at the pulse of everything that's going on in your property and in your destination. If you're not at your pulse, things start slipping. And all of a sudden, you start seeing the little things become the hard things. And then all of a sudden, the guest experience goes downhill, and your staff also follows with them. So let's review the top 10 list. Let me grab some water here because I've been talking too much already, and this is getting to me. All right, so here we go. Top 10 list: culture drives service and how to be successful at your hospitality business. Number 1, the service culture connection. Got to have it. Number 2, a mission that moves people. Again, start at the very basic. Mission is got to be clearly defined. Number 3, your values and actions. Your core values are really the things that are going to guide your decisions as they move forward. When you have those, it's going to take you to another level. Number 4, I believe hiring for culture is massively important. You can teach skills, but you can't teach attitude. You can't teach servant leadership. And so when you find those people, particularly in the hospitality industry, you want to get them on your team because they are going to be all stars for you. I guarantee that. Number 5, once you have them on your team, make sure your onboarding is very purposeful and intentional. Don't let it just slide. Be very intentional in everything you're doing on the onboarding process, because then you're going to be able to go out there and see them be successful from the very beginning. And all of these little things start leading to great opportunities for them as well. Number 6, again, communication equals cohesion. Keep that line of communication open, not only on the front end, but also on the back end. It's important for not only the guest experience to be able to reach out to your team, but for your team to be able to reach out to the leaders and have that ability to chat and talk about what's on their mind and how they can have that. Transparency and feedback are important. That's hugely important. Number 7, celebrate the right things. I'm a very big believer in celebrating all the things along the way. Every little victory along the way. People want to be valued. When you value your team, they're going to value your guests. And then your guests are going to be the best brand advocates for you because they're going to love everything you're doing. People want those experiences. They want to be wanted. They want to be valued. Number 8, cross-training builds empathy. I love this one because when you start putting yourself in other people's shoes, you really get to understand what they go through and how they're understanding and doing everything. So remember, that's really important. Again, seeing it from their perspective. A lot of times you don't get that in corporate cultures, but when you do cross-training, it gives you the ability for your team members to truly understand the impact that every level has for those companies. Number 9, leadership sets the tone. I really believe this. The leader is the person that kind of guides this ship, but you got to have that empathy. You got to have that open line of communication. You got to be listening to your team. But a great leader is going to be someone who models daily everything that we're trying to accomplish here in these top 10 things. Number 10, continually cultural check-ins. I really believe that's important. You're checking in with your team, hearing them, keeping at the pulse, and you got them at the pulse. Now you're able to pivot, you're able to enhance, you're able to move things around, but you're able to be successful. And that's one of the big things. So you got 10 takeaways here, how culture drives service. I think it's really important that you can take these, you can take a handful of them and turn your business into something that's very successful. If you're looking for someone to kind of come out there and help take your team to another level, I've done that. I would love the opportunity to do that. Being a John Maxwell Leadership Coach and trainer for the last 10 years and being an entrepreneur for 32 years, I'm able to kind of go out there and see things from a strategic level, but also from a customer service, hospitality, and communication level. So if you're looking for that, please hit me up at, you can actually go to either thehotelguide.com or go to my coaching website at, it's my name, edwardleos.com. Would love to see you there. I definitely give you a free consultation on it, but we've got a lot of these podcasts going to be coming out. Travel Talk is something that's hugely important to us. We had some great guests on it. You're going to have a lot more coming up. We're gearing up to our 100th episode very, very soon. But like I say to everyone with the Hotel Guide, I want you to travel, I want you to make memories, and I want you to also think about the guest experience and how you would want to be served and how you can make their lives better. Until the next time, everyone, you guys take care, and we'll talk soon.